Hey everybody, thanks for tuning into this video. A little different than usual, but I'm super excited to do this. So this will be the 10,000 subscriber Q&A special. I asked my subscribers to give me some questions in my last video, and I'm gonna go read them and see what's good. Alright, well, let's get started. Alright, so first question is from Snow Creeper 1, and he asks, what got you into Halo? What got me into Halo was I was a part of a library group when I was about 12 or 13, maybe even 14. They were trying to get me to play this first-person shooter, and I just wasn't really keen to play it. But they finally managed to convince me, and they had it on a flash drive, and it was Halo Custom Edition. And they're like, "Dude, you've got to play this. Just trust us." So they sat me in front of a computer, and at first I was definitely very like, "Okay, fine, whatever." But it was Death Island. I remember this specifically because they started showing me the controls. You know, they showed me how to move and walk and everything. And as I walked out and I saw, you know, the Halo ring on the map, it was just so cool to me. I mean, the game was an older game for sure, even at that time, but it still looked incredible and something I had never seen before. So we loaded up a multiplayer match and they jumped on the other computers, and the rest is history. All right, and now we have a question from Snow Remnant, and he asks, "Well, you have plans to include physics in Halo CE?" I think he's asking if I'm going to put physics in CE. No, I don't know anything about Halo CE in terms of modding. There's plenty of talented people out there. I don't know if that's even possible. I feel like there is somebody who's going to try that one day. We'll see. But no, I don't mod Halo CE. Rafowitz says, "No offense, but you look like Ackman's long-lost twin brother." What's up, everyone? This is the Act Man here. Oh, God. I don't know. But maybe I am. Ackman, guess we gotta do something then, because apparently I'm your long-lost twin brother. President Pat asks, any large projects you're working on? At the moment, no. I've tried to stay away from big projects. Working on one for almost 10 years at this point was a challenge, to say the least, but you know, it was a very big learning experience. Would I turn down any other projects? It just depends on what the project is itself, but right now I'm really content with just what I'm doing on my channel. But we'll see, you'll never know. Sketch Screen asks, what made you want to make Halo content? Well, obviously I'm a huge Halo fan because I made a Halo fan game for way too long. Halo is what I know, and it's easy for me to discuss topics around it, but also like using it as a vessel. But yeah, I just use Halo because I like Halo. Glitch Slade asks, will you still be playing Installation 1 betas and showing us gameplay? Also, more Halo C and other Halo games in Unity. Yes, I will be playing Installation 1 when it comes out and showing gameplay. If I actually do get into betas, I mean, we'll see. And will I be doing Halo CE and other Halo games in Unity? Yeah, for sure. Right now, obviously, what I have mostly is Halo 3 and Halo CE content. I'm really trying to work on, I'd love to get some Halo 2 stuff, but maybe some Reach, not sure. We'll see how it goes. Sergeant Marcus Stacker asks, would you do an MCC custom game nights with subs or something similar? That's actually a good question. I guess I should do that. I never really thought of hosting a game night, but if that's something you guys want to do, yeah, just let me know. I mean, maybe we can work something out. Lava Dito asks, my real question is, where did you get those nice Halo CE shaders at? I don't know, some random guy on the internet gave it to me. It was weird, like it was like a dark alley, and he, you know, opened his like jacket pocket and he was like, here's the shader, kid. I don't know, I didn't catch his name. I think it started with an L. RoboFin117 asks, what sort of weapon you would like to see in Halo Infinite? Is it a weapon from a previous title or something new that you wish for it to be in? For Halo Infinite, older weapon, maybe? I'm not sure. I think the Brute Shot should return. I missed the Brute Shot, and I missed a couple of the Brute weapons. What weapons have they cut? Okay, I guess technically Halo 5 didn't launch with the Plasma Rifle, but if they could bring the Plasma Rifle back, that would be... Quack Mode asks, when making your Halo meme videos, what part of it would you say is the hardest to do? Well, the biggest challenge of that is telling the story. I have the joke, right? I mean, I know what I want to showcase, but the problem for me always comes down to, and especially at the last second, is how do I showcase the joke? When it came to the Super Shotgun in Halo 3, I struggled so long with how I would actually present it. I mean, originally it was supposed to be a campaign mission, and like a Pelican was supposed to drop it in like a little weapon pod, but then there was also like showing it on Valhalla, and it was like just in a pickup location, which I didn't think was like a good idea to begin with because it didn't really explain why it was there. But in the end, it was something really simple. I think what really helped sell it was that dead Spartan next to it, because it just gave kind of like a meaning behind the the joke. I don't know, it's weird. You know, the player has to be looking like they're playing the game and they're going to an objective that they already had in mind and they're just capturing their clip. I think another challenge is visually representing what game I'm trying to portray. So especially the Warden video, I didn't render any high quality light maps. I didn't, you know, have any high shadow settings. I try to make it as low detail as possible, but at the same time it needed certain lighting setup where it had to mimic Halo CE properly. That was a challenge, but it wasn't too hard. It's just you have to make sure there's a consistency with doing that, and that I think is a big challenge. Tyrant Tundra asks, what is your main favorite weapon? In Halo, it probably would be the assault rifle. Basic, I know, but it's an iconic weapon. The Field Train The Field Train asks, has anyone really been far even as decided to use even go want to do look more like? Yeah? Oh, Train, you're always a hoot. Shrek? No, I can't pronounce this. I'm so sorry. Shrek? I'm just gonna say Shrek. Shrek asks, what is your favorite single-player Halo game and what favorite multiplayer Halo game? Favorite Halo single-player game has to probably be Halo 3, and favorite multiplayer Halo game is Halo 3 as well. I think it's a very well-rounded game. I know people think it's kind of plays it safe from 1 and 2 and feels more like a best of Halo, but I think it's fun. Crippled Water Tank says, hey Bean, before my question, I just wanted to say I'm loving all the recent memes and I appreciate the amount of work that goes into them. Thanks, man. But he also asks, what is your favorite things you probably wouldn't have experienced if it wasn't for your YouTube/internet career? That's a good question. What would I know? Okay, I guess, well, first of all, IO1, I mean, if I didn't start that at all, I would not have any of the experience I would have now, nor would I have been able to meet such talented people or get to go to all those crazy conventions and events. That alone is amazing. Very fortunate to be able to be a part of that. But I don't even think my college degree that I graduated with would have been what would have ended up with. Decided to switch to a marketing major because I somehow managed to promote IO1 decently enough and interact with content creators that it was pretty rewarding and at the same time successful. That's where I kind of decided to go with my career in real life. But especially with YouTube, I mean, I wouldn't be able to get the chance to do this kind of video. This is kind of actually a very hard video to do. We'll see how it goes, but thanks, man. Appreciate it. Jeff Goldblum Daily asks, question, if there was one weapon or vehicle from any piece of media that you would want in a Halo game, what would it be? From lightsaber to Back to the Future hoverboard. I would love to see a double barrel shotgun of some kind, or something more with the brute weapons or Forerunner weapons. I think there's actually some pretty cool opportunities there, like some kind of kinetic or energy-based weapons with Forerunner. I would love to see more silver and blue Forerunner. That was something I tried to do and push early on in IO1, but I think we kind of ended up backtracking on some of those ideas. That's the kind of stuff I'd like to see. James McDaniel asks, how different is your view on video game development since you worked on Installation 01? Very. I have a lot more respect for individuals working in the industry and how painful it is to even get into the industry, just from experience with working with people and hearing their stories. It's just you don't know what actually goes on a game until you're in the trenches with the people working on it. It's a grueling process. I mean, one of the biggest challenges I have with IO1, not delivering on certain promises. So yeah, take with that what you will. Spartan3D asks, can you do another Doom/Halo animation? Actually, yes, I have plans of doing a Doom Halo video in the future. I just don't want to kind of repeat myself too much. I don't want to be a one-trick pony. Caleb Classified asks, now that 343 Industries is showing promising signs of actually listening to the fans and making pre-launch changes for the fans, how do you think it will hold up to the Halo legacy, specifically the original trilogy plus Reach? And as a developer yourself, what do you believe that 343 can do to increase the likelihood of making a good game? Now, as a developer myself, what do I believe 343 can do to increase the likelihood of making a good Halo game? I think what they're currently doing in terms of being transparent is very great. It's very different from when I got into the Halo franchise back in 2012 and 2013. I mean, it's almost like a complete 180, and I don't think a lot of people are realizing how different it was back in the day. They don't need to be too transparent, though. I mean, there's a certain level of confidentiality I think is important in game development. But what would make a good Halo game? Just something that makes you feel like picking up the controller or keyboard every day and playing the game. People are still playing Counter-Strike after all these years, and there's gotta be a reason why. Just make a Halo game that is fun. That's it. That's all I got. Cryptic Cone asks, what inspires some of your animation ideas? Honestly, just whatever I think is funny. Kevin Cool X asks, what is the next barbecue whenever COVID is gone? The Uber Unit asks, with modding support coming to MCC, do you plan to take advantage of the tools when they arrive and start new projects there? It's actually a good question. It all depends on what the tools are and what the capabilities are. The Raging Spartan 1 asks, what is your guilty pleasure meal? Mine stale chips with tomato sauce depending on the type of chip. I think my favorite guilty pleasure food has to be nachos. I love nachos. Edredane asks, do you have any other favorite games besides Halo? Yes, I do, but it's very limited. I grew up playing Mario Kart 64 and Spider-Man 64, so I have a big heart for Spider-Man games and racing games. I also really enjoy Counter-Strike. I love CSGO. I play it often, not as often as I used to, but you know, I played it enough to where I really enjoy it, and playing it with friends is very fun. The Doom games are really good, I enjoy them. Game Dev Tycoon is great. Oh, and Minecraft, I really like Minecraft. Linda Ho asks, have you worked as a developer prior to doing Halo stuff? I feel like I've seen the answer to this before, but IDK. No, I haven't actually made any video games or worked on game development prior to Halo. Feline asks, how are you doing, man? I'm doing well. Thank you, Feline. Have any fun projects you're currently working on? I have some ideas for future videos that I want to do. Other than that, nothing really. Fletch asks, best Pax memory. I think the best Pax memory I have is in 2019. Just the time I shared with my team at the time and making that little prototype for the barbecue and actually preparing the barbecue. Just hanging out as a group and being proud of what we did. It was great. Derelict Country asks, have you seen Chef? I have not seen Chef, but I think it's on my Netflix watch list. Zur MX asks, if you could change one thing from any Halo, what would it be? If there was one thing I could change in any Halo, it would be reach and not having weapon loadouts. Sorry, I think it ruined arena combat. Midnight asks, where did you learn to do this stuff? Will you make content about Halo Infinite when it drops? Also, congrats, your content is very unique and much appreciated. Thank you, I'm glad it's unique. And that's why I do it. But where did I learn to do this stuff? Pretty much a lot of it came from Installation 1 after all these years, picking up from other people what they've learned. Recently, in the last year, I've learned a considerable amount about Halo content and how that is rendered and how it's supposed to look in other game engines. And that's the Q&A. So thank you all for watching, listening to me talk for so long. Hope you enjoy the video.